strange. And it don't look good. Who you gonna call? Strange. Live from across the plain, still struggling through Google Hangouts, comes the coolest guys you've ever met. Oops, wrong show. Comes the guys who may be weird, who may not be mainstream, and who may believe in things many might call crazy. But these guys are after the truth, and sometimes the truth is the craziest thing you've ever heard.
Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to play around. What is this? Must be a circus and down. Shut the shit down, these clowns. And I get a witness.
Mayor, Mr. Mayor, come take a look at this.
Wow. Oh, what is it? Have you ever seen anything like that? Somebody get me the GLOBEBUSTers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GLOBEBUSTers.
And welcome everybody to GLOBEBUSTers. It is not a throwback. It is actually live. We are live today. It is April the 23rd, 2023. Welcome to the show. Glad you guys are here. Should be a fun one. We've got Level With Me is the title, and then also a little subtitle. The Truth Should Be Free Psyop. So we'll get into all that stuff. And then we've also got a presentation from Zack today. So we've got a lot to do, and we've got a lot of people with us. Let's start out with, we got Dave Weiss here. Dave Weiss is in the house. Dave, thanks for joining us on this very special occasion.
Very, very nice. Thanks for having me. And I just tried a little experiment outside, made a 30-second video, which I will be sharing a little later, and it's pretty wild.
All right, we're looking forward to that. It's a good tease. Way to go. We'll be on this side, or we'll be on the Rockfin side?
I don't know.
All right.
I figure I'm being courteous. I know Justin has got a short amount of time, and I figured I'd wait until we're done talking about the level with me stuff.
All right, we'll do that first for sure. And we've got, well, speaking of him, you already announced him. So we got Justin. Justin, you know, I don't want to get to know you too much better than I already do, because right now I'd say you're one. I always say that there's no role models, and I'm like, you know, Justin could be a role model. But I feel like if I get to know you more, everybody's always got some little flaw. But he does great work, fantastic work with anti-vaccines and all kinds of stuff. And he's here live. I believe he's here. Justin?
Wait a minute, anti-vaccines?
Sorry,
that's not a thing on YouTube. Come on,
I forgot. He does pro-vaccine.
Pro-vaccine.
How great they are for your children, and how.
Yes.
But I don't know if he's there. Justin, welcome to the show.
Unmute.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up?
Hey,
Buster?
thanks, Jeran. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be here. And yes, I happily promote the CDC and FDA at every turn.
Good people over there.
And NASA.
They care about your health and your wellness.
And NASA, yes.
Yeah, NASA. And we've also got Hibbeler here, Sean Hibbeler. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Thanks for having me once again. I love being on the show. I appreciate it all.
Awesome. Glad you're here. We got Zachary Zabala as well. Zach, good times for all.
Hey, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Doing well. And we've got Kyle's here. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Yes. And I believe we'll have Austin, but he's not. Is Austin here? I didn't look at the list. No, it doesn't look like it. Austin will be here shortly, I believe. So that is the story. And let me bring up the trailer, but we can real quick have Sean kind of tell us about the process and how his response has been so far. Everyone I've seen says it's the best of the three.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and I appreciate the compliments from the community. Haven't got much hate, if any. I'm kind of waiting for that. I always wait around for that, someone to come and try to dissect something. It's like with Level, I didn't hear anything just like, this guy drinks pee and this guy's a neo-Nazi. It's just like you just hear BS coming out of people's mouths. Next Level, I didn't hear much hate either. This one, I doubt it, man. I'm kind of waiting for these idiots on YouTube to do their little review that they do every year, because good luck. I don't know what they're going to have to break down for their audience. I'm kind of looking forward to that, because I kind of made it where you're not going to be able to dissect anything. You're not going to be able to do your black magic on this one. Hopefully they do play it for their brainwashed audience, because I'm always hopeful that even out of their brainwashed audience that we can convert a few of those people with the truth. And I think that now's the time, because people are waking up to many other things. And this one is not the way it felt like it was in 2016, 2017. You say flat earth, you get ridiculed, made fun of, and hung up on. It's a little bit out there now. That's why I really targeted the Sadaloons in this film.
Smart.
I think it was a good role to do, because it's no denying it. There's no evidence of them without balloons. And I try to hit that hard, because once they accept that, they can maybe start accepting the other lies,
Yeah. And it seems like, the good thing is that we don't lose anybody from this side, right?
No.
So everything that we do is just increasing the numbers. And even if they think, and nobody's going and watching Simon Dan videos, that's a flat earther that watches him do something and then says, oh, now I'm not a flat earther. It's just not happening. So they can do all they want. Actually, what they don't realize what they're doing is just promoting us more and more. And as we've all been told, that somebody, everybody who's ever said they watch my stuff or that they're now a flat earther all say the same thing, that they watched me at first and they laughed, or they watched me at first and they thought it was a joke. And then when they started to look at the world, they said, wait, why is the things that this guy's saying matching my world? And then before you know it, they take that 2 week of no sleep kind of system that we all went through. And on the other end of that is always your new belief. So I don't think we have anything to worry about as far as that goes. And so I think this movie just is going to add to it. It makes it, and again, for the truthers out there, I've seen a couple people in my chat saying like, oh, I knew all this stuff already. Well, great. That's not the point of the film.
Really? You knew that we got Judith Resnick on camera? Right. You knew that, huh? I didn't know that.
I mean, how much have I talked about Judith Resnick? I mean, the way that she acts in that film, even changes my mind versus the last time we talked, where I'm like, that's just strange. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, we heard you were on the shuttle and you're not, I would stand there and talk to the person like, no, I know it's weird. They say that, I could even send you some pictures of me when I was in high school, or some pictures, do something other than run away.
Well, the thing that stood out the most to me with that is she started to panic as he was saying the word conspiracy. So again, think about it like this. If the professor was honestly a normal person, has nothing to do with the astronaut, and someone, she'd seem like she was a little bit worried right away. Radio station. She's like, what? And as soon as he says, well, there's a conspiracy, she walks away in the wrong direction. That's called panic. Why are you panicking? You didn't even let him finish the sentence. Could have been a conspiracy about a classroom or a fight last week on campus. You don't know what he's talking about, but you do. Right. You do. And at that point, if that wasn't the astronaut, she would have said, yeah, I heard this. She would have probably tried to Michael J. Smith in a sense. But, I think she's in the witness protection program, guys. That's what I think. And yeah.
Sean, can you talk about what happened afterwards?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can. I'm not releasing his name, but the gentleman that helped me out with that scene was getting phone calls from authorities. And I don't know. I'm not going to call them feds, but definitely wasn't the local police department. It was authorities calling him. He doesn't even know how they got his number. He was a little bit freaked out. I have to call him back today to see how everything's going. But it's been a few days now of phone calls and voicemails. So he's a little bit like, what the heck is going on? And that's what I assumed, is that she's in the witness protection program. And under those conditions, she cannot say anything, which she didn't. She closed her mouth, walked the wrong way, turned around, walked right in the door. So I don't know how they got this guy's phone number, but it's very interesting to say the least.
For sure. And just real quick to the people watching the show, if you could do us a favor and please share the show. So a lot of people don't even know that we are doing GLOBEBUSTERS still, or they might think it's on my channel, but we want to get it back to the GLOBEBUSTERS channel on YouTube and Rockfin. So the way to get those numbers up for us that are shadow banned, there's only one way, and that is by you guys sharing the show on your social media.
Hit that share button, guys. Come on. Let's go.
We'd appreciate it. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, again, I just look at it from the standpoint of maybe she's under the witness protection program, and maybe Michael J. Smith wasn't, or maybe he was and he just decided to talk that day. So, based on the last time we spoke, Jeran, am I swaying you a little bit more that this is the same lady?
Yeah, well, it's definitely the way she acted is just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense with
just look at her teeth.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
No, and I actually have never done really a deep dive into that because I just kind of, all the other ones are clear to me, and especially the twins, that didn't appear till after. So
I won't lie, you were partial motivation to get that out.
No, that's good. And that's the only thing is the one with her. And again, we don't know who that person is in that film or whatever that was, the Senate thing. So I'll have to look into it more and see, what else I can find about it. But
when you find a button like that evokes that kind of a response,
there's
you've
a reason.
got to push it.
Yeah, and there's a reason. No, there's a reason why somebody would act like that. Otherwise, you would just. And again, even though the Michael J. Smith thing, you might be thinking that he's not. But again, that guy walked up to him and says, "Hey, Michael J. Smith." Yep, And then he kind of told him what he was, and then he's kind of like stuck. He's like, "No, not me, not me." Yeah, at that point, if he would have like turned and ran in the house, that would have looked really bad, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
So who knows? Let's see here. And Dave, you had any good reception?
I've talked to. I got so many messages. Great movie, great job, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I worked really hard on it, and I took full credit. It was awesome.
I don't think you deserve that much credit, but you were in it, and you did have some good things to say. I enjoyed your parts.
Sean is a master filmmaker to make me look good in the film, so that's all I have to say about that.
Visually, I don't mean.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, man, was to make you look good. I was up all night.
I know.
How much did that cost in CGI?
Yeah. One day I'll have the funding to get animators and graphic designers and the whole 9 yards. I really want to. Just to kind of have. I know everyone has mixed opinions on the more land map, Nos, Confutus, whatever. And that's why I clearly state, well, Victoria does, but clearly stated I wrote in there to, this is just a visual concept. Relax.
Right.
But it's the point of, like Dave always says, it's scientifically possible. And one day I'd like to find an animator or graphic designer that can, I'd pay as much as I had to get something going with that, to actually make it active, to activate those ponds, get some stuff moving, get some graphics overlaid, something realistic or full animation or full CGI, just to kind of give the audience more of a descriptive aesthetics, to imagine it.
But here's one thing that all of us in the film, we think it's very probable that there's more land and they're hiding land, but we want the right to freely explore. We're not standing a stake in the ground going, there's definitely more land, more civilizations, everything. We think there's lots of evidence, lots of old books, lots of stories, lots of stuff, and it's scientifically possible. So that's the biggest, the trolls out there making comments, that's the biggest thing they have right now. They're like, oh, these guys are saying there's more land, trying to make us look stupid, and they don't care about the creator. They don't give a damn about the creator. And I'm like, you're a horrible researcher.
No, the creator was mentioned multiple times in this, and I don't know if you guys waited till the very end of the film, but Bryce Mitchell ended the film. If you guys catch that,
yes,
yeah, that's for the people, man.
Again, their biggest critique is completely incorrect.
Yeah, and I don't get the whole hang up on the creator with more land. That's how dare you put limits on the creator? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
Never got that.
Right. I mean, we are staking a claim that there is a caring creator.
Yeah, but Dave, the timeline, the timeline is not a claim. The timeline's facts. The timeline of them exploring Antarctica, into a treaty, right into starting NASA. The timeline's right there for everyone to see. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, John. I'm saying that they've got nothing on those comments. Hey, Jeran, quick question before I forget. Did NASA start as an underwater exploration company?
No, but they did. I mean, they've done underwater stuff the whole time.
As far as I know, the first thing they ever did was sending monkeys up there, which obviously they didn't send anyone anywhere. But that was their breakthrough. Was like, hey, we got a company started by Nazi traitors. Please, pay attention. We're going to send monkeys up there. I mean, the whole thing's a sham from Jump Street. So it's just a few years in, and they started figuring out some animation, CGI, and studio sets, what they can do to. I mean, all the old stuff, as you guys know, if you actually watch the original NASA footage. From 59 and up. It's just awful. It's awful. They couldn't really trick anyone yet. So they were kind of limited until they can, break out the big guns and get the moon landings started. They didn't really have much before the moon landings, in my opinion.
Yeah, the timeline is like very telling, right? You have 1945.
Austin, everybody. Austin, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So like the Germans were like obsessed with exploring the land out there, and then 1945 we bring the German scientists and engineers over. Then 46 we do Operation High Jump, like right after that, and then you move through to the 50s, and in 57 they established the distant early warning line, like DEW, which is where they set up trip lines around the North Pole to alert them if anyone's going there. And then in 58, they founded NASA, and in 59, they signed the Antarctic Treaty. So it's like, if you actually look at the timeline, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, for sure. And they were NACA before that, but that was National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics or something like that. It turned into NASA. So, originally you could even say Orville Wright was a member of NASA, but it became NASA, and then they of course went over and took all the Nazi scientists who were experts at mind control.
Hey Jeran, let's play the preview and then have Justin chime in, because I know he's one on a schedule.
Okay, give me 1 second here. I've got it here, but I just don't know if it's squared up right. I believe it is. And let's play this trailer 1 second. That'll work. All right, here we go. See you in a second. This is the trailer for Level With Me, which is available now. The links are in all the descriptions. So here we go.
Level with me.
We'll also continue to engage with China. We're not looking for a new Cold War, but I make no apologies. I make no apologies for taking down that balloon. Thank you very much.
This is not a new phenomenon that you might find balloons in the air. The fact that
Sorry, yeah.
So there are all kinds of possibilities here. Could it be a weather balloon? Absolutely. Could it be a weather balloon? Absolutely.
Mainstream calls them satellites. They're satelloons because they're all on balloons. Well, I mean, we're in public. There's no expectation of privacy.
Why are we only told about this other idea of satellites? It's a well-kept secret that we have tons of huge balloons above us.
You don't know about any of these satellites without the balloons?
Space. It's the biggest psyop of all time.
The Earth is not what NASA says it is.
Many people are becoming aware that there's a firmament.
There's a firmament above us. Why is it when we review this footage that these things are exploding? It looks like they're hitting a barrier.
Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, the problem is you can't get past the firmament.
Some of these rockets look like they're scraping across a watery firmament, kind of like a boat dragging something through the water. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're not flying into space.
This is disclosure. People want to call us conspiracy theorists, but we're about to blow this wide open.
Oh, it's going to blow up or something's going to happen.
The 1986 Challenger disaster did not die in the explosion, with many of them hiding in plain sight.
Did you ever think the public would find out that all the spacewalks were filmed underwater?
Thanks, sir.
The liars are the enemy, even if they live in our own backyard.
Awesome. And let's bring on Justin. Tell us what he thought of it.
Yeah, I've been getting some great feedback on my end. People from the community, people from that have been protesting against vaccine, or can we say that word on here? Against the V word.
I say
Hacksaw Jim
Duggan. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's what I call it.
So it's been good. I noticed, protesting that stuff the last 3 years, I was treading lightly and I would bring the topic up and I would find out, wow, a lot of these people are kind of closet flat earthers. And I didn't really realize it. And when the world shut down and people opened their eyes to the medical system and all these things, they are so ripe for a movie like this now. So I've been getting people DMing me like, wow, I'm sending this to people that, are on the fence or haven't really gone down this rabbit hole yet. This is a perfect, it's just been good feedback. And like you all said, the only thing I'm really hearing other than that is, people saying, oh, I didn't learn too much. I'm like, well, like Sean has said a bunch of times, it's not so much for us. This is for the people that we're trying to, open their eyes and show them a little deeper rabbit hole in this topic. So overall, good stuff, especially the people are really liking the astronaut confrontation and that city council meeting.
Yeah, it's great. And to the people out there who have a problem with when people are saying that there's more land or something like that, learn to differentiate between when somebody's saying something is a fact and when somebody is spitballing or giving ideas or maybes, because when you're lied to, you have no choice but to spitball. It's just the way it goes. You've been lied to, so you don't have the evidence that you would need. So you're going to have to kind of say it could be this, kind of get some people thinking in the right directions. But I have no problem with anybody ever saying, like, speculating on something.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jeran. Even though it is speculation, I'll bet my life on it. They're hiding more land.
Well, it's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, it really.
Yeah. God's works never end, and His words never cease. So it's definitely within the ballpark, right?
Yeah, and it just makes sense. It's the whole idea of you run away from tyranny. That's what people do, and so if they wanted to get people to stop running away from tyranny. And the last time that happened is when the founding fathers came over and did what they did here, and to get away from what they thought was tyranny in Britain. So now we have that same situation where the tyranny that is starting to weigh down on us in this country, and the right choice to do or the right decision to make here would be for us to get up and leave. But we have nowhere to go. Why? Because we've been told we live on a ball. Everything's been discovered. So it is.
It's a Truman Show part over and over and over again.
Right.
Oh, it's already been explored already. You're too late.
You're too late. So I think that I want more speculation in that line, and so should everybody else, because nobody has taken a helium ship or something and just gone south. So why would you want to prevent that by saying, oh, you're discrediting? It's hard to discredit flat Earth more than it's already. They taught everybody it's the dumbest belief you can have. Remember that. So there's a reason why they taught that as well. And that reason is because they want nobody looking anywhere near it, and they know how people work and how they operate, and we've all seen it happen. We've seen people who just at the thought of flat Earth lost their minds, and now, like Justin just said, that stigma that goes with it is, leaking. It's leaking a lot, and it's because of all the lies that are told everywhere else. Go ahead.
Justin, those people looked like they were paying attention to you, man. Like they looked like they were definitely paying attention. What was it like from your perspective? How were they reacting?
Well, believe it or not, the majority of them were trying to avoid me, like eye contact. They just didn't want to accept it or entertain it. Now, there are two people on the board that are specifically in charge of the Kennedy Space Center area. Now, one of those guys, he was an older gentleman. He was looking straight at me the whole time, but he had this either it was a very perplexed look, or he was like, holy crap, how does he, know all this, or why is he saying this? Or it was just like, what the hell is coming out of his mouth? Like, it was hard to read him. Everybody else looked like, I'm not going to look at this. This is crazy, or I don't want to hear this. But like I've told people, I'm not so much doing it to get something accomplished. Some people think, what will they say? What will they do? And I'm like, most likely nothing. But the seed has been planted with them, the people in the room, the people that will watch the video. It could lead to someone else doing something, a whistleblower. You never know. And that's what I always hope to gain from those public comments at those meetings. Plus, some people actually think it's a real hearing or a real courtroom, and sometimes, which I'm not trying to mislead people, but it's funny when people are like, is this, oh my gosh, did you say this in court? And I'm like, no, I just dressed up. I just dressed really nice to, for the presentation. It's just a public comment at a council meeting, but that's forever cemented into the public record. That can never go away. They can never unhear that, and people can spread this like wildfire. So it's kind of a no-brainer to go in there and drop facts on them. And I'm lucky enough to live close enough to Kennedy Space Center that I could drive over to that county and make it relevant to those board members. So it was a success. And thank you, Sean, for adding that in the film.
Justin.
Yeah, thank you, man. You did such a good job, Justin. Such a professional. Always had great ideas. And again, for the audience, when me, Austin, and Justin met in Orlando for the Kennedy Center, we really didn't have a game plan. We didn't really know what to expect. The main focus there was to sneak these microphones in. You can't have professional recording equipment of any sense. And they just, I had a belt with a zipper, like one of those belts you hide. You're supposed to hide cash in, and we had a couple belts out there with microphones and kits and wireless roadie boxes, and I had what did I put on there, like a sleeve? So I put a sleeve. You guys know what those roadie boxes look like, right? The wireless sets, and I just put MP3 player sleeves over it, and then I put in earbuds. And so where the microphone would go in, because the microphone was in the belt, where the microphone would actually plug in, I plugged in earbuds, and it really did sell them. I mean, it just looked like an MP3 player, kind of an old school one. And yeah, it's an MP3 player. Okay, have a good day. I'm like, oh my God, we're in. But Austin really reassured me even before we walked in, because he said these people are triple. I'm not going to say the word, but it's just the point. NASA employees are definitely their mRNA is altered. So
yeah, they're not the most alert. Yeah, I was like, dude, I was like, when I traveled the country, I found out quickly, bro. Like the people that work at places like this are just in their own world, man. Like you don't even have to worry about it.
The term for it is jacked up. Okay, jacked up.
Yeah, GMOs. Yeah, but what I think is so cool about that part of the movie, the astronaut interaction and even the board meeting, it's like it should really maybe inspire some other people to see like how accessible some of this stuff actually is, right? Like we just stood in line, we got a picture signed, and we got to ask the astronaut questions.
Great point.
And
it's a great point. We need copycats now. Let's go.
Exactly. Everyone should see like it's not that big of a deal. We went there, we talked to them. I like had to really be like all timid NASA fanboy because I was in line before Justin. I didn't want to kind of raise any alerts to them. But say you go on your own, well, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Just go, be professional. Like Justin did perfect, right? He was still cordial, respectful. He wasn't all emotional or anything like that. He let her finish, and then just go ask them questions and let them trip up their own story, and then go to your council meetings and speak. And then look at the awesome shot we got. They give you great camera footage of your speech for you. So I think that it should motivate people to do stuff like that. I think if we all began to do that in a professional way, we would see change very quickly, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, and if there's one thing else I can say about those city council members, I got a lot of practice the last few years, going against all the mandates. So that helped tremendously. But a lot of times, these people are in their own world, kind of like you said, they're purely uneducated on these topics. So some of them are like, holy cow, I've never heard that before. Like we've gone in, I've talked to so many council members, and they will just look at you and go, just have no idea what you're talking about. Send me this stuff. And then you send it to them, whether they can do something about it or not. But like you're educating some people that actually can do something on a local level. We're never going to get any governors or presidents to do anything, but these little local people in your community, you actually have some pull with them. And if you get enough people riled up, if they're in some sort of scandal, you can get them removed and replaced by someone like us. And like people have told me that the day is coming. I think David Avocado Wolf maybe said it, Hibbeler, in your last podcast, is that soon we're going to have people like us in these
that's right.
in advisor positions and advising people like heads of state eventually. And at that point, we're going to be, navigating ships to go find out if there are other continents. So we'll get there.
Well, this is the war we're in, Justin, and this is the war we're going to win. And that's pretty much, the next step is to dissolve all governments, all treaties, just the way of life. It has to change. This can't be the way of life that much longer. And I think that we all agree in some sense of that. It can't keep going. It can't.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, right? So we have, this is why I launched out at NASA as well. We have like the AMES Research Center in like Northern California. You have the Armstrong Flight Research Center and Jet Propulsion Laboratory in the lower parts of California. Well, there are flat earthers all over both those places. You guys can go to the council meetings because it's pertinent to your local community. You have the Johnson Space Center in Texas, and then you have things in Virginia. You have all these different states and cities, Washington, D.C., right, that have even New Mexico. You have all these places that have NASA facilities. And so you can go, you have like the legal right to go and raise concern or awareness about what they're saying to the public. And we don't do that at all. That's why like seeing Justin do that was so fire, right? He was like professionally dressed. He spoke articulate and professional. He was confident. And that's like the first time I've ever seen it. So I would just say that's one of the biggest things I hope people take away from the movie, because I was like inspired, you know, even though I was there at that, you know, it's like, oh wow, like you can just go check these people. So we should definitely do that. I know I'm kind of reiterating myself, but it's all over the country. So I think that the power is actually in our hands. We just have to like do something with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
It's important to do.
How did you guys feel about the Scientific Balloon Center? The guy in the truck, the employee of NASA, just making a beeline right to us.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like they've been warned to watch out for that stuff. It's
well, what I think is that they were hearing us, man, because they had some weird, I don't know what you call them, but pointed to the street there. I would assume that they could hear all activity around their building, because as soon as me and Tanner got there, I set the tripod up. We started to kind of, get his voice going. I always said with Tanner, just start talking and we'll start filming, see what we get. And so honestly, the scene of him talking, but right before the red truck came and started making noise, none of that was supposed to be in the film, technically. That was just kind of us practicing, getting through the, what we're going to talk about. And I put it in because I felt as if the audience needs to see something raw. I didn't want to cut anything where the white truck was just there. I needed people to see that not only was there another truck making noise, stopping there, it was the white truck was also coming from behind their center. Because I originally, guys, and this was like maybe a day or two before the film came out, me and Victoria were watching it, and she brought up the point of, the scene I had was the truck was already past the gate coming towards us. And we both decided, like, you know what, like, there's going to be someone out there, some form of hater troll that's going to say, oh, that's their buddy. Look at where, we don't know that truck came from behind the center. So I backed up, some frames to make sure that the whole audience and the whole world can see, oh, this guy does work there. He came from behind there. And, the problem with that was like, we were going to kind of be aggressive with him. And then in my head, we just kind of, let's befriend him. Let's talk to him. Let's keep him calm. Let's see what we can get out of him. And I cut a lot of it. He was just blabbing about how long they've been there and everything like that. It was obviously bad audio because the shotgun mic was so far away from him. And he was already nervous about being filmed. But once we reminded him that we're on the public property, he's coming into our movie scene, nothing he can do about it. He could take off if he wants, but there's nothing he can do about it now. And so we befriended him. He started kind of being communicative and everything was fine. And once I could feel the mannerisms of he was going to leave, I just felt that energy of, just the way he was moving his truck and adjusting his seat. And I'm like, this guy is going to take off, man. And I'm like, I got it. I didn't want to be in the film at that point. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I just asked him the question. I simply asked him the question about satellites. Hey, you've never heard of these without balloons? This guy has no idea what we're talking about. He seemed confused in the beginning stages of setting them up on rockets and the orbiting. And his face is just like, what are you talking about? And then he told us that place has been there since the early 60s and they accumulate for most of the Satelloons launches in America. They're top dog, and they're in the middle of nowhere. No one knows they're there. They have their own little water tower. It says NASA there. But it's like literally, guys, it's in the middle of nowhere. And this is why most of the public never even heard of this. And I think that was a huge part of the film because, people. I'm still waiting. I don't know if you guys hear this at all, but I don't hear many people ever talking about satellites without balloons. Like in general, I'm saying, Like, where's their promotion of this? Where's their defense? Where is even NASA? Like, where is Globers? Where is anyone talking about satellites without balloons? And it's kind of obsolete, no? I mean, I don't hear anyone promoting it or defending it.
I don't really hear much either. I mean, I guess that I sometimes hear, obviously them talk about GPS and they say they're launching all these little satellites, but every time they come up with a new company or they're going to do these little, whatever they're called, nanosats or whatever, every time you hear that, they come and go. I mean, look at what happened with Virgin. What was that? Not Virgin Galactic. Anyway, they had a satellite company that started up that already went under. So, I mean, again, it's like these people.
The biggest argument I hear about satellites not being real is I've seen the string of lights from Elon, his mini sats, right? But if you compare them to the ISS, they're about the same size and brightness. But the ISS is the size of a football field, and those little satellites are the size of a desk, and they're farther away, and they look like they're the same size. Sorry, it doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, I've been telling people. I think Sean really put NASA the nail in the coffin on this one. I mean, between the satellites, the ISS, and the Challenger, when you take it back into history that long ago now and show people how long they've been up to something like that, having the Krista McAuliffe's parents having the little Robbie Parker moment. I mean, I had someone message me that. They were like, wow, I had no idea the McAuliffe parents were having a Parker moment there. And it's just really going to show people that everything they're doing is fraudulent. And I think between that and warning people about the potential final card false flag, I think those were the two. I mean, I appreciate everything you said, Austin, and I'll take the praise on the city council meeting and inspiring people to do that. But I think two of the really big takeaways were warning people about that impending final card and finishing off NASA once and for all.
What's a Parker moment?
The Robbie Parker.
Let's not be too descriptive, but yeah.
Oh yeah. One of the so-called parents from one of those fake events getting into character. He was laughing on camera after a tragic situation, the same way the McAuliffe parents were after the Challenger explosion.
Yeah, it was a guy that was laughing. Right, he didn't think he was on camera yet, or they were rolling, and he was the father of, let's just say, someone that was proclaimed to be dead already, and he was already laughing before he got into his acting mode, and you could actually see him transition into started to breathe. That's what actors do. So it's, as you all know, that was a psyop. We won't get into that on YouTube, but yeah, a good point, Justin. It's very similar. I give you that. Yeah, very similar.
Hey, John, people keep asking in the chat, and it's just because they might be new here. How do I watch the movie? And it's levelwithmefilm.com.
Yeah, that's the best place, because every option you have is right there.
Right. There's Rockfin. There's Vimeo on demand, which is $5. How dare you charge $5? This should be free. And and then there's also a lot of things that people don't know about is Movies Plus.
Yeah, my Movies Plus is awesome. Simply, in my opinion, might be probably the best way to watch it at the moment, because their servers are insane, and they got true 4K stream. Yeah, I don't even think Rockfin does 4K.
I have a question on my Movies Plus. They have to sign up for the whole year, or just for the film?
No, it's actually free.
No, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't have Netflix, but what does Netflix do? Anyone know how they do?
Netflix is like $24 a month or something like that. But
I signed up for this
$25. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I got it a while ago. It's $25 for the year. And
with the code,
it has the best stuff on it.
Yeah, I know, dude. I literally, I am not. I don't work for them. I have nothing to do. I'll tell you right now, though, guys. I have spoke to the VP and the owner, of this company. They are flat earthers. They are truthers. This is why they put millions of dollars into their platform, and they're only expanding. They're going to be opening up a giant studio apparently in California, like you want to call it like a Netflix type of studio for films and divisions and green screens and all this stuff. They're opening one up soon. And they're putting all their money into this. And these guys told me that this is what they want. They want a type of Netflix feel for smart TVs, for Fire Sticks. It's already on there. Roku, doesn't matter what you have. You get the app. You pay the $25 a year. I think it's $35 without my code. The code's Hibbeler. But regardless, it's nothing for a whole year. Their library, like Dave said, is insane. And I'm not a big fan. Obviously, most people listening included, not big fans of Alex Jones and InfoWars and any of that stuff. But it's just the point. Even their stuff's on there. You got stuff about grounding. You got these are films that will not make it to any other platform. Obviously, Fluvid-19's on there. The George Floyd real timeline that me and Miriam did's on there. They're promoting things. They're marketing things for truth. And we don't use anything else. We don't open up any other app on the TV besides My Movies Plus.
Whenever, if I'm looking for I need to watch something compelling, a longer, instead of just a short YouTube stuff, I go to My Movies Plus. There's too many awesome things to pick from. So if you're looking for real truth content, if you're looking for real truth content, that might be a choice for you. Or if you just want to do it on Vimeo or whatever, that's $5. Get the film and make sure you tell your friends about it.
My opinion on this isn't to go watch it on there. I'm just giving you my honest, raw opinion that it is the best way to watch in 4K. If that's something that someone goes, man, I really want to watch this in the greatest quality of humanly possible, that's the way to do it at the moment.
And
it's very hard to compress, man. I had a 32 gigabyte file. I'm like, how am I supposed to make this available for people to download? They're not going to download a 32 gigabyte 4K file. So I compressed it down to like 2 gigs, and now it looks around 1080p-ish, which sucks. But unless someone else knows how to do that, I don't get it, because it seems impossible. You download a ripped Blu-ray of a Hollywood film, just example. You download a Blu-ray torrent or something. Dude, that's got to be a 300 gigabyte Hollywood production movie down to 1.2 gigs, and it looks incredible. How do they do this? I can't wait till next year, because that's all I'm going to be trying to figure out is who, what, and where do I go to get that done.
You don't use Handbrake, or you do?
Go ahead, Jeran. You first.
Jeran?
Do you use Handbrake at all?
Yes, I'm not the best at that. I did use it to get it down, but again, it feels like it's 1080p now. So that's why I'm recommending My Movies Plus. If anybody that likes movies or likes entertainment or documentaries or whatever, that to me, that's the future.
And I want to make another comment about the film. Earlier, you guys said that it's not, people like, oh, I didn't learn anything new. And you pointed out, there's some new stuff that you've never seen, like the Judas scene and some other stuff.
And the Scientific Balloon Center. That's all epic.
Yeah, but hold on. It is for us, because I really enjoyed it. I've already watched it on my computer, and Paige has been away for the weekend. She's coming home tonight. We're watching it on My Movies Plus on our nice big TV, and I'm looking forward to movie night with Paige. So yeah, it's made for flat earthers.
Now,
at least
Sean,
for the first month, and then after that, it's made for everybody.
Yeah, I've seen in the chat a couple times people asking, is there any way they could get this on DVD somehow? Because they have older people that are boomers that,
Yes.
The answer. Go ahead, John.
Well, I was going to say I'm a little upside down right now, budget-wise, but that's coming. So these rentals just started and everything. So as soon as I don't know what everyone thinks I do with the funds that come in, it goes right back in. But that's the first. That's right on my bucket list. That closed captions is first. That's coming soon, probably the next 48 hours. As many languages as I can afford. But that's my next step, is getting not only Level with me on Blu-ray, but Next Level, because I just haven't had the funds to put it all together. Yeah, it is coming. It's coming.
Awesome. Don't you think maybe if you charged $6, it would have been better, because you would have had more funds that way?
Yeah, I hate that number, but no, I get it. You know what? I look at it from I look at it as a what do you call it? The more people will get it if it's $5. If I made it $7, $8, $10, people will rent it, but I think it's more limited. So it's like
making a joke.
I know. I just felt like that's the lowest I could possibly go to even try to break even and hope for profit to put it into other things. So $5 is fair. People yell at me all the time, why is it only $5? It is what it is. That's the way it's going to be. So
yeah, kind of
fair.
People will complain wherever they can, but we could talk about that. I mean, we can get into the whole idea. I call the truth should be free. I think it's a psyop. I think it's a brilliant job again by the elite, because they've convinced people of the thing that is the most valuable of all things in the world to me, which is truth. convincing people that it should be free, which it is free. Truth is free. But the people who go out and get this information and put it together and put it in a film and edit it and with music and with different, he had to fly all over. What part of that do you think should be free? Because nobody,
the airlines, the hotels, the car rentals, the time, the travel, the food, it should all be free, Jeran.
Yeah,
the chiropractor.
Right.
Space Center
and if you work in a service industry and somebody comes in that's actually doing a truth documentary, you have to serve them for free and you have to work for them for free.
Right. And these same people would never lift a finger if they weren't reimbursed. Right. But they'll come and they'll just take people's content, steal, send it out to everybody for free and just say, I'm just doing that because well, you would never do that for anything that you do for a job ever. And it's just because people don't see what some of us do as a job. And maybe it's because they work for the man and they, don't like the idea that we don't. But what we're trying to do is actually a very unselfish thing, which is to not just gain truth for ourselves, but to find truth and then package it up and redeliver it in a way that's beneficial to everybody. So when these people come around and they're saying, "Oh, you guys are grifters," it's like, what do you mean by that? Somebody who looks for or compensation for a work done is not a grifter. That's everybody in the world does that. And it's just confusing to me that they don't recognize that this is just an extension of that.
The ones that call us grifters are asking for super chats for their nonsensical streams where they're just spewing garbage and lies. Who's the grifter?
How many of them have paid for an education before? Seriously, come on.
Yeah, right. I got another point to that, guys. Take it how you want, but for me, I look at it from this standpoint, and it's not necessarily us in our community, but our neighbors, your cousin, anyone you're trying to convince of something. What do you think has more of an impact for them? Because again, if I'm talking about an example, just say your cousin that is on the fence, maybe made fun of you in 2015, but now is kind of coming around. What do you think is more of an impact for them to go to Vimeo or My Movies Plus and rent a film like they have their whole lives with Prime and Netflix and all this stuff, where when they make an investment, $5, they benefit from that by, I just paid $5. I'm going to watch this movie. No one talk, right? No one say anything. I just spent money on this film. What do you think has more of an impact? That, or it's just, it's floating around BitChute for free, just hit play. And it's like, well, how do I watch it on my TV? And not only that, but it's just, when you tell someone it's just free on a platform, it's just sitting there, it loses its value, in my opinion, for that type of person. Because again, they're so used to renting films on Prime for $7, $10, $15 a pop. And they just hit that button like it's nothing, because it's an investment, and it's something that they go, you know what, let me see the value in this, and I have to watch it from start to finish. And when something's free, they can walk away and go take a crap in the bathroom, not care. It's free. Who cares? I think there is an impact psychologically, guys. And I think that's why I do it the most, is because I know I've had people that go, "Oh, we just rented your film. Great film." And I go, "Yeah, this was last year," but I go, "It's also free on YouTube." They're like, "Oh yeah, but there's a difference." And there really is the difference. I don't know if it's mental or not, but I hope I make a point. I don't know if you guys understand what
John,
I'm coming
I had friends that said they just watched your film and they want to know where they could send you another tip because it was that good. And where can they do that, by the way?
HibbelerProductions.com/donate. I don't promote it ever. I know everyone's like, you should, but yeah, you can always donate on my website. There's a donate button.
And this isn't just rentals. You can actually buy the movies. That way you can share it with your friends, right?
Yeah, you have a direct download link on the website as well. And also Vimeo. So if you stream it on Vimeo, which is on the Xbox and Fire Stick and a few some smart TVs do have Vimeo as an app. It's just easy. Yeah, exactly. I got a lot of emails for watch parties, man. It probably probably collectively from the first two, 10 times that emails already. And I actually mean collectively from the first two films. With all this time that's passed, I've gotten more emails of thank yous and you changed my life, you changed my mind. And one day I'm going to put together a lot of these emails and screenshots for the past 3 years and frame it, because it really does motivate me. We could talk about the haters and trolls all day about why are you charging, why are you this, but it's the thousands of people collectively over the last couple of years that go rent it and they email me these beautiful paragraphs changing their life and all this stuff, and now they could teach their kids this and that, and it just brings tears to my eyes because I know that's why I do it, and I don't care about the trolls. I really don't, man.
Sean,
Sounds like
I'm
a
with you
great
100%.
activity to watch for a flat Earth event. You want to get your community together, go to the library. You can watch it over at the library. Be awesome.
I get these amazing same kind of letters, and then I also get the trolls where die you bastard, all the stuff, and I save them all, and I just reply back, thank you for the contribution to my book, because my book, the left hand page is going to be flat Earth comments, and the right hand pages will be Glober comments, and it's just going to show you how sad and pathetic the Globers are, and how awesome and amazing the flat Earthers are.
Not flat, you idiot.
Yeah, that's such a good idea, dude. If you could go to my channel or to like Monitor Debate and do that, it would be insane. That's like such a good idea. I will say, whenever Kai and I were watching it, I turned to Kai like halfway through, and I'm like, dude, we have such a shortage of this in the flat Earth community, like professional movies where you're like caught into, you're like really in it, you're like on the edge of your seat, it's like keeping you going, you're like, whoa, what are these guys talking about next? We have such a shortage of that, and it's such an impactful thing where an hour can like actually change someone's life, right? And that's why I'm so confused as to why anyone would like immediately try to rip it and throw it on Odyssey, start dropping it around in Telegram and say it should be free and all this stuff. Like, it's gonna be free, and like, how do you think that you make it? How do you think that something like that gets made? That's what I'm so confused. I genuinely don't.
And then people saying this isn't going to wake up anybody because Globers aren't going to pay for it. Well, there are a lot that are, but Sean's making it free on YouTube in 30 days. So the Globers will just have to wait 30 days and then it's free. Let's empower this guy to make more. I want Sean to make 2 movies a year. All right, not 1, 2.
Right. That's exactly. That's the point. It's that the 30 days makes the film possible. That's what, like, I'm genuinely just expressing how I don't understand it. I understand quite a few things. I'm not like really stupid. I genuinely don't comprehend how someone doesn't get that. He had to fly me out to Florida, right? He had to pay for my hotel. He paid for the tickets to get into NASA. He flew out to my place in South Carolina. He flew to where everyone else was. He pays for their food and their hotels, and I don't understand, how do you think that someone can do all that and then
without
just
a job
for free? Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It doesn't even make sense. If you actually care about the truth, when I was watching, I'm like, bro, we need this. We need this so much. It's like such a missing component of the truth community where, like, for example, I sit on camera for 3 hours and just rant. Like, who's going to watch that? Like, I mean, it's just for select people, but you need like these well edited, like very efficient, captivating films that wake people up. And the only way you could do that is for it to be funded. I mean, can someone just try to use their brain for a second?
Well, we've all been brainwashed by doing the same exact thing for Hollywood.
Right. And it's
we've all been brainwashed.
That's
why I mean, like the beginning of our lives. That's how it happened.
Yeah, that's why it's a psyop, is because I know I fell for it. When I first got into YouTube, my very first thought was truth should be free. And so I would go around, and if somebody was charging money, I'd immediately have an eye like, oh, this guy's charging money. So I know the first 2 years I was in that, and then you get kind of explained, or you kind of start to see it, and you're like, oh, I see why this is the going psyop. Now that we're admitting it and telling about it, I don't know why it continues, because people should see how ridiculous it is to think that they're spending these billions of dollars on all this propaganda, constant propaganda. So of course they would tell you that truth should be free, because truth is the only thing they have to contend with. So by telling you that truth should be free, it'd be like a Major League Baseball team telling you that the other team shouldn't pay their players. Well, why would they be saying that unless it's because they're paying their players such huge money and they want to go up against teams that don't pay their players any money? Who would win in those situations? Well, of course.
Exactly. It eliminates competition. Right. That's what it is. It's to eliminate competition. Like, absolutely. I launched NASA audits and I'm like behind on it. Well, it's because I have 200 resumes I'm supposed to read through and then build an extensive newsletter and compile everyone's emails and then update the website and then create a meeting to keep up with each person in a different city. Really, I need to be able to just pay people to run that. Yeah, and I'm not saying to give me money for that. That's not the point. My point is that, like, for us to even make like progressive, impactful steps to have any chance of being competition against the media conglomerate that propagandizes us since birth, we have to fund it. I've never understood it. How can you watch Hibbeler's movies and be like, this is awesome, I want to share it to people, it woke my friends and family up, oh, this is so awesome, but it should be free? Like, it just seems so weird to me. I know I'm being redundant, but it's like, you guys have just got to just delete your account, stop commenting online because you're just lame.
Yeah, it's a very selfish position. It's just it's a selfish thing to do, to just show up somewhere, grab content, and then you go around saying these things that you've learned from the movie or learned from our videos or whatever, and then it maybe elevates you. You're like, look, I'm a truther. I believe this. I seen this. I got the evidence of this. But you didn't gather any of that stuff. Somebody else did, and they packaged it up for you. And I just think that people will have no problem buying a Starbucks or buying a Pepsi or whatever. They're just continuing to fund the beast, and then the people going up against the beast, well, that should be free. And it just makes, like Austin said, it makes you go like, that makes no sense. And for me, it's a personal thing for me because I enjoyed doing my videos better. And I hear people all the time tell me, well, why don't you do videos like you used to? I woke up to your videos, not your live streams. I get it. Believe me, I get it. If I could do that, I would do that. The problem is when I did that, there's nothing there. There's people. If you offer something for free, people will take it for free, right? So there's no happy medium. You either have to ask for support or you don't. If you don't, you get none. If you do, then you get people who call you a grifter. So you just have to, again, most of us have to take that road because the other option is to not do this. So,
well, this is the other competition thing too. They've actually set the game up. So like, if you spend tons of time, make a really dope edited video and put it online about the truth, you're demonetized.
Right.
You're deprioritizing the algorithms and you're demonetized. So the average person spends that amount of time, throws their video on YouTube, and then they start raking in ad revenue forever, for all time. They keep getting a check every single month because of that video. We don't do that. We don't get that. That doesn't happen. If I spent a year making a movie, I'm not going to get money from it on YouTube, right? So it's like they set the game up, and you're falling right into the trap to like be like, yeah, get them. Like, you sound stupid. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, it's whatever. I think that the real
something else. Something else that we could do that may be able to solve a little bit of that problem is, and it'll kind of meet some of the demand with the feedback, because I've been having people ask me about watch parties as well. What if we did like you picked a city and you premiered the film somewhere and did like sold tickets to it. Everybody could come watch it at like some maybe like a little small time venue, and do a Q&A with the people in the film afterwards. You could make a whole thing of it. Maybe even do 2 or 3 in the country. Split up the cast. Maybe you have one up north with David, and like out west, and another one in Florida or something. You could premiere the film, sell tickets, and make a whole experience out of it, and maybe fundraise a little bit more for the film. I've had a lot of people ask about that. Like, are you doing a watch party? I'm like, you know what? Haven't really had people ask about that a lot in the past years, like you've said. But now it seems like I kind of wish I would have done that and set something up for yesterday and had everybody, locally come watch it together.
Hey, Sean, what's your Cash App?
Hibbeler Productions, one word.
$ Hibbeler Productions.
Yeah.
Spell that.
HIBBELERPRODUCTIONS.
If everyone thinks the E shouldn't be there, just get rid of it.
I know, dude. My whole life, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, that's my only hope, is that people would realize that. And I don't know how to go about it either. It's not, Austin and I have talked about it before. Is there, some way to set up a foundation or something? But again, then you just have all these fingers pointed at you and people saying you're doing it for another reason. So it's like not even worth it. And this is what they've done a good job of too, is I don't think very many people are sitting at home watching what we do and thinking to themselves, oh, that's something I'd really like to do. Because they see that we struggle and we have to go through this all the time. And I've got to sell hats every freaking show. I got to tell them about my hat, get a hat, buy a USB, because otherwise I can't do this. So it's like they do that on purpose, whereas they elevate these people from Hollywood. So when you got these impressionable youth sitting at home, what do they look at and what do they want to do? They want to become a Hollywood star where they're paid huge money and they're glorified and put up on a pedestal, and you could be Dylan Mulvaney and you could be an 8-year-old girl and all these things are celebrated and it's courageous and everything like that, or you're demonized as a truther and it's not attractive to anybody. Nobody's sitting at home like, oh, I want to do what Hibbeler does, which is barely be able to break even when I do a film that everybody likes. It doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's such a good point. It's like as a young kid, you're watching it and you're like, oh, so this guy traveled the country and talks about like how lockdowns are for prisons, and he's like barely making it. Every other video, he's like, oh, we can't get to the next city. But this other guy goes around a party street in Florida and says, how many bodies do you have? And he gets millions of views, right? So like, I they're just gonna want to be the other person. If they want to make content, it'll just be like the ratchet, moral degenerate, like mindless content. But it's all good. Like I said, I know we all feel a certain way about this, but I think the real ones know.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the real ones will rally around Sean, because I'm not just saying this because I'm in it. I'm not just saying it because that's my homie. I'm saying it because I actually watched the film with my wife and in the middle thought, bro, we need more of this. This is like what is missing. And Hibbeler obviously understands that because he's doing it. And so I think it's a no-brainer, right? Hibbeler should be completely free to just work on his content, and he probably still can't even keep up, and maybe even be able to end up having like a crew to help him. That would be the best thing that the truth could have happen. So
yeah, if I had a team or something, which has always been my goal in this filmmaking process, is to one day not be upside down with budgets, to not, it's like I don't know how to actually do that, but that's the goal, because then I could just focus consistently every season to make a new film on a new rabbit hole, new topic, and have a team, meaning I produce it, I have the project, I give the project file to someone else, they do the color, they do the sound, they compress it, they do all that stuff, because then I could be focused on a new project, because all of that type of stuff is what takes the longest for me, because I'm a one-man band, so it's non-stop, and it gets very frustrating, but it's worth it for me because of those emails I get, the good ones. It really is worth it.
Jeran, can you pull up that last video I sent you on Telegram?
Remind me what it is.
It's somebody that made a reaction video to Sean.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Okay, yeah, I'll get that up. Give me 1 second.
You can play it or not. I was just gonna say that people like, what can I do? This guy literally made a 3-minute, 4-minute reaction video talking about the film, how he loved it, and telling people where they can go get it. I mean, people are like, well, I can't do anything. Sure, just put up a video like that. If 2 people watch it, 10 people watch it.
Can you play it? I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'll put it on right now. Yeah,
thanks, sir.
Put it over here.
Yeah, so
it's awesome.
Yeah, rather than ripping his movie and trying to post it on your channel like you made it.
Right. Let me bring this up and see if we can get it on for you. And I'll share my screen so you guys can see it as well too. Let me see here. Share screen.
Yeah, I saw like a Telegram group drop the video in there for download. I'm like, well, I guess I'm leaving this group.
I deleted it. If they tried to drop it in my group twice. Let me see. Share computer sound. I think I need to do that. All right. So there we go. And
you can just skim through it a little bit, but just listen to the guy for a couple seconds, and it's awesome.
Which screen do you guys see? I'm sorry, I don't know if you're looking at the.
I see it. I see the screen. Nope. Now you're on somewhere else.
Okay, so you meant this one is the one you want. This one?
Yep, that's it.
Great. And let me make sure it's played over here. Nope.
Not a lot to see, but it's just the guy. He literally just watched the movie and it was inspired to make a video.
Okay, I'm just gonna move it over here. I know you can't see it for a second, but you'll see it when I play it over there. All right, now we'll go. Okay, here we go.
With me and that YouTube family was good. Yo, just saw that movie Level with me, and that movie was dope as hell. Awesome ass movie. Awesome movie. Just finished watching it. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Don't even watch your Super Mario Brothers, your Top Guns, all that other nonsense. Highly recommend watching Level with me. It's one of them movies you're gonna watch. You're gonna watch it again. You're gonna watch it again. And the thing is, it's cheap. It's not like you're going to Blockbuster spending top dollar or Netflix or Hulu's or anything like that. $5 to own, $3 to rent. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that in the description box, the link to get to Vimeo. Now, first things first, download, if you have a smart TV, download the Vimeo app onto your smart TV. Yeah, typically them smart TVs have things like, Vimeo's, Paramount, all that. Download Vimeo. download Vimeo just to make life easy. Or you could download it onto your phone, right? Download it onto your phone. You can watch it that way. Download it onto your laptop. If you have a dumb TV without the smart TV capabilities, just go ahead, download it onto your laptop or your phone and connect that HDMI joint from your phone or your laptop to the TV. You can make it function that way too. Anyway, don't matter. Awesome ass movie. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now, first off, I'm going to talk about a few things with this movie. First is the beginning of that movie. The first set of topics they talk about, most important part of the movie. It basically sets the tone for the rest of the movie. That I'd say that part stuck with me the most, right? The guys did a phenomenal job. You see your same players, Austin Whitsitt, you see Dave Weiss, you see Eddie Bravos and all that. I didn't see Jeranism. You know what? Don't want to spoil it. I do not want to spoil it. This movie kicked all kinds of behind. Man, I'm happy as hell with that movie. Now, also, like I said, the beginning, very important. You had a couple of experiments that I was very impressed with. You know, a couple of guys doing a couple of experiments and basically demonstrating this Earth, demonstrating in like a garage this Earth. Austin Whitsitt, everybody knows the motherfucker smart, right? Especially for a college dropout, dude's smart as all shit. But like he demonstrates his intelligence perfectly to a T with his scientific demonstrations. I think he did an awesome job. Actually, the whole crew, the whole cast of that movie does an awesome, phenomenal job putting the movie together and basically consolidating everything you know about the flat earth, all condensed into like an hour and change for that movie. Anyway, YouTube family, let me stop running my dang lips. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that movie link in the description box. Like I said, smart TV, download the Vimeo app. And if you have it on your phone and if you have a Vimeo account already, good, because once you purchase or rent that movie, you could transfer your phone data over to your smart TV. These smart TVs are pretty smart, man. They're pretty crazy. But if you have a dumb TV, I already mentioned how you can stream that data from your phone onto your stupid TV. Anyway, YouTube family, that's all I got. Wish y'all nothing but the best. Health, wealth, joy, love, prosperity, most of all, wisdom. And with that, love y'all. I'm out. Yo, check out Level With Me. Awesome film. Peace.
So there's a guy.
I'd love to know who that is so I can send him a shout out. But shout out to him if he's listening now. Thank you.
But he didn't have any visuals. He didn't do any editing. He did nothing. He just spoke from his heart. And that's what people want to hear. People want to hear reviews like that. That's so do that, share it, even just talk to people about it like that. And then that's how the word gets around.
Excellent. This movie will
Thanks
get
for playing that, Jeran.
This movie will, even with the echo, that was unbearable. This movie will get around though, for sure. Am I the only one that feels that way? I feel that
absolutely it's gonna go big.
Well, let's all manifest something real quick. Bryce Mitchell, in about 2 weeks or so, is going to have a UFC. It's a really heavily marketed match. The guy that he's fighting, I forgot his name, but he already said, he already commented about the flat earth stuff. Like, oh, Bryce has been hit in the head too many times with this flat earth stuff. And these little articles are coming out about, Level With Me, Bryce Mitchell. And, they're trying to make fun of him. But it's the point of, I'm not going to give any spoilers away right now, but Bryce told me to my face, I never asked him, ever. He told me to my face in person that he's got something planned for Level With Me after he beats the crap out of this guy. So let's just manifest that and hopefully something
you're
happens.
asking us to manifest that Bryce beats the crap out of a guy. All right, I'm down.
Yeah. Well, no, manifest that he wins that match because we all know who's going to be in the middle of the ring with a microphone, right?
A guy that's as tall as a toe?
Yeah. So
the guy that's a unit of measure.
Use your head. I mean, something big could come out of this, guys. Honest, I'm being honest. Like something.
No, I'm
like
positive that it is.
Right. And I'm 21 times taller than that guy, Sean.
Impressive.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. I think it's for sure gonna pop off, and I just think that everyone should kind of get ready for that, and then feel really stupid that they tried to rip it for free.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I can't stop those degenerates from doing that. Actually, not even degenerates, hypocrites for doing stuff like that. They can't even wait 4
some of
weeks.
them
They can't wait
big,
4
are
weeks.
big flat Earth channels that
Yeah.
are, you know, you love the movie, so why are you trying to screw Sean like that?
Just wait till just wait until May 22nd, and then you guys can do it 90,000 times a day and free and hit. Just wait. Just give me a few weeks, guys. That's it.
That's what's
I have
so
a
weird
family.
about
I have
it.
bills. It sucks.
You watch when that comes,
dude,
nobody
like,
will share.
It's just like wait a month, bruh. Like if the $5 is such a big deal to you, instead of running around virtue signaling that you're gonna get it for free when you didn't do anything to make it, then just pretend it came out a month later.
That $5 is a really easy way where you can participate in the fight. You can fuel the next fight because there's gonna be a sequel, and we're all anxious for it. And so, you want to be a part of that? Join in. That's how you do it.
Yep. Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
But yeah, manifestation. Bryce is gonna win.
But let us
I
say
gotta-
too a thank you to everybody who does support. You know, I don't want to forget them because that's how we all
big time
get by. So thank you to everybody who isn't in that Truth Should Be Free crowd who does recognize.
Well, which is most, Jeran. Let's be honest, is most.
Yeah, but again, the
I
loud ones
appreciate
and
all of
all the conversations I'm seeing in my chat today, and I'm not even checking other people's chats that are all based on this idea. And you like Austin just said, it's virtue signaling for these people to run around and proclaim that truth should be free. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? I would do the same if I had nothing, if I had no stake in the game. I'd just run and steal people's content and tell everybody that truth should be free. And when you are in it and you realize, oh shit, the people who do this struggle. All of us have to work so hard. So people knew the time that goes into any of this stuff that we do. Maybe they would feel differently. I don't know if they think like if we've got a 3:00 show, we just, party all day. And then at 3:00, we're like at the computer for 2 hours and then we go back to partying. Where there's so many things that go into before it and after it, it's a full-time job. And for you probably the last 3 months have been nonstop.
I would say since last November, maybe December.
So even longer, see? Yeah. So
just think about how much movie like Hollywood would require for stuff like this. To go see something in the theater, it's like millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, well, the funny thing, I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't know if you guys know of Mariam Haneen. Yeah. She directed Vanishing of the Bees, which they took down from Netflix. And then that kind of set her tone for being a truth independent person. But, she told me, and actually she told me publicly on my show on the Hibbeler Effect on Rockfin that it was over $1 million that she had a fundraiser and she got it. She got it funded to make Vanishing of the Bees. And granted, I'm not talking shit about Vanishing of the Bees, guys. It's a good documentary. But it's like I watched it and I'm like, in my opinion, I did a lot more than that in terms of content of the film. And she had to raise $1 million to get that done. And she told me it was that much of a struggle. And I'm saying, she told me, she goes, I can't believe that you could do that for under $100,000 and by yourself. And I'm sitting here like, wow, I didn't even put that into perspective. How, like you said, the millions of dollars are spent on projects to get stuff done. And I'm proud of myself for keeping the budget low and still trying to put something good out where it doesn't look like crap, And so that's the hardest part, is to do that for such a low budget. But I did it, and I'll keep continuing to do it for low budgets if I can. I always will. I'm never going to be like, hey, next year's film, I need $1 million. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because I know that with hard work and dedication and consistency in this editing chair, it could be done for cheaper. And I'm going to continue to prove that.
Well, I know something else that I think people don't realize is like when you were here, you were like telling me what all you had thought out as to how to captivate the audience, and like you think about each different scene and the progression and the timeline and the plot and the psychology behind watching it and all this stuff, and it's like a very tactical. It's like a weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got in the lab and engineered a weapon.
Yep.
And people should understand that's what goes into it. Someone didn't just sit down and be like, satellites, UFO. They like just throw everything in a bundle, mix it up. And no, it was a very tactically created like masterpiece. And I think that people should kind of appreciate that. That is a huge, rare thing. And then think about the importance of this being seen by millions of people, for example. Like the warning in it as to what they may try to pull off in and of itself makes it important that tons of people see it. Not to mention,
imagine if 100 million people saw it. I mean, let's just obviously it'll be on YouTube, so that would be the way. It's not 100 million people renting it; it's never going to happen. But if 100 million people watch it on YouTube collectively, and they all got the end message, they all understand what's possibly coming. And I'm not fear mongering in this film, and I hope no one felt that way. I tried my hardest. I took out a lot of lines from everyone's mouth during that end piece to make sure this isn't fear mongering. I don't want to scare anyone, and I hate fear mongers in general. I'm not a hypocrite. So, but I still needed to. We still need to warn it. We still need to. Sorry, we still need to warn the public. It's a warning. You have to understand it's a warning, and the understanding of it all will literally reverse consciousness. It'll shift consciousness where they will not do this to us. Is my goal. And there's no other way to eliminate them to try this without shifting consciousness. And that is to make the world understand that it's coming. And so just like I won't say the word before it, but we all know what I'm saying. The passports that were supposed to be here by now for the what, in my opinion, consciousness shifted with the information that was coming, and they pulled the plug on it. And I want them to pull the plug on this invasion, guys. I don't want it to happen to our children and our children's children. I don't want this to be going down. So I feel like the best way to actually stop it is for the public to have the information, because then we won't consent.
And think about this, the Hacksaw Jim Duggan that came out and everybody got, that we talked against from the very beginning, and nobody who didn't get it is regretting that decision, right? Everybody is very happy with the fact that they stayed away from that. And so I just hope people know that, recognize who it was. And I'm not taking credit for it at all by any means, but I'm saying the collective, the group that you're a part of, that you're watching, that you're supporting, is part of the reason that you didn't do that. And that you put your family first. And that if it wasn't for the people doing those things, then we probably would have all done it, because we wouldn't have seen anybody out there actually speaking against it. So I just think it's valuable, and I don't want to make grandiose claims, but we clearly have saved lives, whether it's one life or 500 or
I agree.
5,000. We've clearly saved lives. So I think that that's something that gets kind of glossed over, because if somebody else saves lives in the world, well, then it's plastered all over, and everybody let's celebrate these people. But for us, we'll never get that celebration. We shouldn't even expect it. It's just not going to be there. So I just hope people recognize that.
Well, someone from the military just recently came out and said, yeah, we literally can shoot lasers, pinpoint lasers from different directions to create holograms, and we can make them do all kinds of stuff, and then we can even actually direct energy weapons from there, and you would have no idea, and you can make it fly around the sky and stop and blah blah blah. And he said they've been doing this for years. So for people to know that may be what's going on is literally capable of preventing it, just like Sean said. So I think that's super epic that's in the film. I think you guys should just watch the film, obviously, and support it. But it's from beginning to end, I wouldn't really say that any of it shouldn't have been in there or anything. It's a very good job. And then one of my favorite things you did, where you're you have Eddie kind of talking, and then I don't want to say too much about it, but you just take a moment to realize what you're defending, and then you just show
that. You know what, Austin? I'm glad you brought that up. I never really say this about my own films. It's just I like it all, but respectfully, that is my favorite part of my new film, and it's basically because it sets the tone. This is what I envisioned when I created that, and actually Eddie was in on it with me. I told him, I don't direct people much, but I'm I'm going to direct this scene with Eddie, and he did a beautiful job. And what I envisioned with that whole scene, Austin, was a flat earther on his couch with his Glober mom, his Glober cousin, his Glober uncle, and whatever. That scene was for them. So the flat earther on the couch goes, all right, guys, you ready? You got to pay attention now. Remember, this is what you are defending. This is real and authentic to you. So let's review it. And that's why no one's talking through that scene. No, I'm just showing your cousin and uncle what they are claiming is 100% real. And they cannot, there's no way that those people on that couch, when that scene's over, can look at their flat earth person and go, no, I think all of that was legit. All of that's real. There's no way. And I think that is the stepping stone for breaking them down, is showing not just the earth's flat. Look at this. Look at this. No. Look at what you think is real and then get back to me. And I think that's where it can start for people. I try to study the way that the brain works and how Hollywood has brainwashed us and the Rockefeller educations, they brainwash us with all of these lies. How can I do that with truth? How? And I've read so many things on how. And I feel like possibly this one can get it, man. This one can do it because I try to hit it from every angle, And I appreciate that. I'm glad you brought that up because I just had to say that, man. That's just my favorite part. There's so many good parts, but that in terms of helping your family members or friends that are on the fence, especially the ones on the fence, of course, a lot easier. That's the moment for them, in my opinion. That is the moment of the film.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Sean,
no way
I'm looking forward.
it.
I'm looking forward to watching it again tonight. I can't wait to watch it on the big screen. I would literally,
especially
watch
with the real 4K. Yeah, My Movies Plus is pushing that real 4K, man. It's going to be epic.
It's going to be amazing. And Jeran, you were talking on your show the other day. If everyone just sent you $1, you'd be able to do this full time and everything. If everybody would rent the movie and then also send Sean $1,000, everyone that's listening, that would be $550,000 Sean would have plus the rentals, and then we can get 2 movies a year out of him.
Maybe so, at that point, I could afford a team, so I would do 2 a year. And I would pay you guys to be on that team. I wouldn't go outright. Whoever's good at whatever, let's talk at that point.
It's just funny because within the last year, I think we bought on the Apple Movies the Matrix trilogy. Let's watch the Matrix, and we bought the whole trilogy. Okay, I have no idea what it costs. Is it $20? Is it $30? I don't know, but I mean, you can get the whole Level trilogy for $5, right? Because 2 are out there for free already, and that's an awesome trilogy to have. And then have movie night with your friends. Bring your friends over. Have them over for a movie night. And there's no way. I say it all the time. It's scientifically impossible to watch these movies and walk away a Glober. Period.
Yeah, and I would as funny as this sounds, I actually would recommend 3, 2, then 1 for anyone. It's just my opinion. My opinion.
I like that.
I don't know why.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
No, I don't think you are, but I'll tell you, just the way they're constructed, I feel like 3, 2, 1 would be the option for anyone. That's just my opinion.
All right, I didn't know that was an option, so that's cool.
I do see people saying, "Oh, good." Or I was just
no, good.
Well, people in the chat, somebody's saying, it's rough because it's $5 here, 20 here, 15 there. I get it. That is something that's rough. So one of the best things is Rockfin right now. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be around in 2, 3, 4 years, but right now you've got 25, 35, maybe more than that. Flat Earth content producers, truthers. There's even more if you want to count that. And so for $15, it supports all of us. So nobody's ever going to say that you're not supporting when you do that. And if you support that way, you would have gotten Level for free from the very beginning. So I think that that's important for people to recognize that if that's all you have, well, at least that $15 is something that I think anybody could probably string together. One less eating out a month or whatever. One less drink when you're out a month is going to be that $15. So I get it that, there is, if there's 50 of us and we were all saying the same thing, you're like, well, I can't give 50 people $10 each a month. But Rockfin's the best way for right now. They've never, besides one video of Owen's, and that's been, I don't know if the video ever went back up, but Owen's back. So they've never censored anybody or taken down any videos that I know of except for that one.
Well, and mine originally, but that's another
the
story.
podcast, right?
Yeah. That was a while ago, yeah. But either way, Rockfin is a great place to be in terms of supporting the truth and getting your value. I mean, you brought up a good point. It's very valuable. You got GLOBEBUSTERS, you got the Jeran show, you got Austin show, you got the Hibbeler effect, you got Eddie Bravo, you got all. Even if you like Tinfoil Hat, there's all these shows on there. The value's already covered, in my opinion, with that, and the quality And yeah, you watch it on your phone, you hit AirPlay to the TV. I mean, it's, they're getting there. I just can't wait for one day they can get on a smart TV or Fire Stick and have an app on there. I think they're in the works though.
Yeah, I've heard the same. So yeah, and then I saw somebody else say that Sean never messaged them with the link. So Sean's been saying, I think if I remember it correctly, he said that you needed to email him with the receipt. So can you go ahead and say that again, Sean?
Yeah, I've only gotten to be honest, which I expected more. I only gotten a few emails like, "Hey, where's my link?" Everyone else paid attention to the instructions, but you just email me a screenshot or forward the receipt of your donation, whether it was $1 or whether it was $50, doesn't matter. I mean, you email me a receipt, I'm sending you the film. If it was more than 20, I'm sending you all 3. And I've been up. That's all I do. It's just, every email that comes in, I just reply. I already have it copied and pasted. I just reply. Everybody's replying with thank you. Thank you. I mean, we got the links. We appreciate it. So there has been no hangups in that field. I will never let anyone down or let anyone hang in. It's not, you couldn't pay me to do that. If you email me your receipt, you're getting the film right then. So it's never, I've never heard of anyone not getting it. If there was some some confusion in the process, just shoot me an email, truth@hibbelerproductions.com. And you can always go to the website and hit contact me and then just tell me your receipt or whatever, attached a screenshot or whatever. But yeah, I'll always help you guys out. I've actually given out probably all 3 copies for most people, even if it was a cheaper donation. I know I said over 20, but I just paste the whole thing in, and man, I'm not trying to backspace a bunch of films. Just have them all. And I even put in there, please respect the next few weeks and don't share it. I even put that in there, which I never would done in the past, but the way it's going, I'm like, I might as well ask them nicely. Like, hey man, let's just keep this between us the next couple of weeks. I mean, you can, give it to your cousin or your mom or email your friends or something, but let's just try to keep it under the wraps for a few weeks. I appreciate it.
So someone else could also technically buy the film on multiple times and give them out to people. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't mind that. It's just, let's keep it off of platforms for a while, guys. That's all. I mean, you own the film. You can do anything you want with it. I'm only asking to keep it off of platforms for a few weeks, just so I can recoup this budget a little and try to get some Blu-rays made up and try to get some, just put it right back into the film. What else can I do to get more eyes on the film?
Well, no, I'm saying you can be lame and buy it and then give it to people, or you could buy it multiple times to support the film. You could just buy it multiple times.
You don't even need to, do that. You can just buy it once and then send Sean $100 and then make copies and give it to 20 friends. You don't need to re-download it each time. Just be fair about it and say, hey, I'm giving this to 20 people. Let me send Sean a donation and, do what you can.
And there's this strength in numbers thing is another thing that we don't even realize how impressive it is, or think of the amount of subscribers a lot of us have, right? Whereas if each one of those subscribers sent $1 a month, then think of how much money that is. But the truth should be free thing. I don't know how you ever put something like that together, but this is how the government runs, is basically these little sales tax that nobody really notices. We're paying 8.25% or whatever it is, but it's just a little bit here and there, but they are able to fund everything they do because of the strength in numbers. There's people paying taxes. Let's say it's 250 million people. So there's 250 million people in this country paying money constantly. And that's that strength in numbers. Whereas if we had something like that to where everybody, because you would never notice. That's why I tried, although the other day I said, if you enjoyed my show, send $1 through Cash App, and one person sent $5. Well, they sent $5. So thank you for that. But then you kind of realize, well, maybe it's not. Maybe people didn't enjoy
it. One last thing: if you know other big shows, decent sized shows that might be talking, like contemplating flat Earth or leaning flat Earth, share the movie with them. Get the movie to them, however you do it, and say, watch this movie. If you love it, maybe you want to have Sean Hibbeler on to talk about it, so he can reach new audiences. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about reaching new audiences.
Yeah, I would do any show at any point. I got free time finally. So I'm glad I'm starting with this one, I'll tell you. Rest in peace, Bob. I really hope that, Cami enjoyed it. It was real late. It was real late in the editing process, but I go, I have to. This is before anyone brought it up to me, respectfully, but I already started, what can I do for Bob? Last year for Rob, I just put in loving memory of Rob Skiba real quick, I kind of regret that now, but I said, let me try to design something for him. And I found some photos. I think it was Cami's Facebook, but probably should have asked permission. I made sure that nothing crazy was in there that they wouldn't want in there. But I just looking at the photos, it just teared me up a little bit. It seemed like such a great guy. I regret never meeting him. But I really hope Cami enjoyed that at the end. I didn't know what else to do. It's with such short notice. So rest in peace, though, man. I wanted to just say rest in peace to him, and prayers to the family and all you guys too. I know you guys were really close with him. So sucks.
Yep. Somebody in the chat asking, is Rob Skiba dead? Yes. That was more than a year ago, I think. And yes, rest in peace to Bob. I'm sure that at least he's without the pain now, so that's good. And his memory will live on here for sure. I'm sure he'll be brought up every show.
I just want, Bob,
One more
tell me my
comment,
dreams,
JK,
Bob.
and you're
Is there
gonna
more
take it a
land?
dirt
Tell me
nap.
my dreams.
Yeah, we'll do that too. Yeah, Bob, come to us in our dreams and let us know the secrets of the universe, please.
How many more ponds are there? What's going on? Tell us. Say something. Yeah. No.
He's got to take time. I don't know. There's like a little time they have to spend before they can start doing
All right, something else I want to say. So, like, also, if you think about it, this film actually has like exclusive footage, right? So, like, there's an interaction with, an astronaut asked about the stuff, but also like Challenger, what's going on character, like exclusive, like never before seen interaction.
Never before seen. Well, that's why I said at the beginning of the show, and it's like, well, there's nothing new in here. Yes, there is. Did you know that we talked to a NASA employee at the satellite center? Did you know that Justin, talked to the astronaut face to face about the ISS and the harnesses, and that we know the truth? Did you see Judith Resnick freak out on camera? No, you didn't see. So again, for flat earthers, understandable. You guys know most of this information. But there are, good point, Austin. There's exclusive footage that you can't get anywhere else besides the film.
That's right. Like a lot of people have seen the one with the dude in the driveway, but it's like, oh, we have a 2.0 of that. So
yeah, and that was hard to accomplish, man. And again, I hope that the guy, I don't want to say his name, he told me not to, but he's a good guy. I hope everything's all right. I'm still waiting for him to call me back. These authorities calling his phone, and I just don't get how they got his phone number. I was talking to Tanner yesterday. We're trying to figure out how that's even possible. But we don't know. Triangulation, pinging his phone. I don't know. Maybe they saw his plates. I don't know. I hope everything's okay. And he offered. So I never made him do that. I would never make anyone do anything. Period. But he offered multiple times over. He said he wants to be a part of history. So. I just want to thank. I wish I could say his name, but I just want to thank him publicly.
He made history there.
Yeah, he did. In more ways than one. So, hopefully, again, there's some copycats. Let's go. Someone go find. Scobie's my main guy, man. I want to go see him. I want to go find him. I'm born and raised in Chicago, and that's apparently where his office is. I'm going to Chicago this summer for my best friend from high school, his wedding. I got to stand up there and do the talking and everything. And I haven't been out there since my dad's funeral last year. So it's been a while, but now I feel like, while I'm out there, I might as well take the opportunity to go at least go stop by the office. I mean, just who knows?
Are you the best man, Sean?
Oh yeah, man, that's my best friend forever. Best man. Gotta get my.
How many people are going to be at the wedding? Are you going to flat smack them in the speech?
Yeah, these are the people that I left behind when I got the heck out of Chicago. But I still talk to some of them once in a while. They know what I do. It'll be interesting. I think the only responses I get from my old friends back in the day in the past 5 years about anything I've done. I got a lot of texts like, dude, Jim Brewer? That's all I got. That's all I ever get. John, can't believe you're friends with Jim. Dude, I love him. I'm like, yeah, did you see all my other stuff I've done? Or no, you don't want to talk about that? Okay. So it's kind of awkward, but yeah, it'll be interesting. It's kind of exciting to see the reaction of all these people that know who I am. And, it's just going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. I will be flat smacking anyone that brings it up. That's for sure. But maybe I will say something on the microphone.
I'm just kidding, not kidding.
No, that's a good point. If I got the microphone, man, I might as well say something. It's not like everyone there doesn't know me. They all know me. So I might as well say something. Leave them with some sort of breadcrumb. But yeah, who knows? I'm actually looking forward to it because I really do feel like there's going to be at least one old friend or acquaintance that's there that goes, dude, you changed my life, man. Like I saw your films. I'm just expecting that in some sense. I'm looking forward to figuring out who would actually have the balls to say that to me. Hopefully someone saw something, man. A couple of my friends have seen my work and said it's good, but they don't want to talk about it. So, and that's why I had to get out of Chicago. It's very closed-minded, at least where I lived. No one, when I, during my awakening, 2015 was the big, I couldn't talk to anyone. I literally never felt more alone. My mom was the only person I could speak to. When she passed, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here, man. I literally just put all my stuff in the car and drove to California. It was that quick. I awakened and I'm like, there's no one around me I could talk to about this. And I'm like, if I'm going to be alone, I'm going to be alone somewhere else.
Well, I heard Chicago's a great place to live and it's very safe and everything.
Changed.
No?
Say it again.
So I heard Chicago's a great place to live. Very safe. No?
Yeah, Chirac. Yeah, that's beautiful.
A little scary.
Everyone's like, well, California sucks. I'm like, dude, California has fireworks, not gunshots, so it doesn't suck.
When I was in Mexico, we met some people from Chicago, and they say now they grab you, they shove you into a car, and then they take your phone, and they have somebody that's super phone savvy. They have you unlock your phone, and they go through your phone. They find your crypto wallets, your bank accounts, and they go through and they just transfer everything out.
Oh yeah, gun to your head, dude. They don't care.
Yeah,
they'll shoot a 5-year-old just because they're bored. It's so bad.
I mean, boom. It's like if you have your, it's like there's got to be some sort of kill switch on your phone for a situation like that. I don't know.
They do have one,
but it's crazy.
You can set it up,
but
just don't go to the South Side at night. That's all.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just don't even try to be a hero. Don't do it. This is stupid. Don't even try.
Hey, you want to transition and go over a couple flat Earth things?
Yeah, we're going to go over to Rockfin. So it is free before everybody loses their mind. It is free while the show is live. So you can go over there, watch the show for free, and you don't even have to sign up at Rockfin. You can just watch it. And then after the show, it'll be.
And I'm going to, we had somebody who I gave a permanent dirt nap on this channel earlier who was like, why do the sun shine on the bottom of clouds? And I told him exactly where he can go and see all the videos that debunk it. And then he goes, oh, send me a link. And I'm like, you're out. Right. If you can't, if you ask a question and you're told exactly where to go and you need somebody to do the work for you, this is not the place for you. But I have a couple pictures I'd like to show.
Good, because there's a lot of evidence there. That's like they find the one picture where the clouds are kind of lit from the bottom and they make it sound like it happens all the time.
No, but this one ends that debate. This series of pictures ends it. It's over.
Okay, so we're heading over.
We'll do that on Rockfin.
It's going to be on Rockfin. We'll be able to be big boys and talk about things that we're not allowed to here. So this is the new place, or the old place, whatever you want to say, for GLOBEBUSTERS. We'll be here on Sundays at 12 noon Pacific. We have some exciting things coming up in the near future. I actually heard that, I guess it's public information because it's already been announced. But we do have a new theme coming, our new intro song. And it will be a long time coming because it should have been done a long time before. And we just didn't ever actually get it moving. But it will be the next track from Conspiracy Music Guru. So obviously it's going to be epic. And look forward to that and much, much more. So we're going to end the stream here. We'll see you over at Rockfin. Thanks, guys, for being here. What?
Rockfin.com, for those who don't know, ROKFIN.com, and then search GLOBEBUSTERS. You don't even need an account. Just go and click it, and it's free.
I'm putting the link in the chat.
Goodbye, YouTube.
And here you go. Goodbye, YouTube. There you go. There's the link. See you guys there in a moment. Till then, peace. All right, we are